¿Seguimos esperando el gran cambio económico? Our current global settlement system is a rusting, sparking relic of the 1970s. Most people search for signs of collapse on Wall Street trading floors, ignoring the physical infrastructure that actually dictates the flow of wealth. The actual reset is occurring at physical maritime choke points, with the Strait of Hormuz serving as the primary stress test. The physical wires of the global economy are vulnerable, and they are currently under direct tactical pressure. This image shows armed Iranian speedboats patrolling commercial shipping lanes. The Strait of Hormuz has become a critical vulnerability for Western naval dominance. These Iranian drones cost between $35,000 and $50,000 to mass produce. They are the tools of asymmetric warfare, a conflict where a smaller force uses low-cost technology to exploit the massive financial overhead of a superpower. Compare those drones to this U.S. interceptor missile. A single launch costs $3 million. Using multi-million-dollar munitions to down $50,000 drones is a mathematical path to bankruptcy. This aerial view shows a massive desalination plant in Dubai. The region relies on this narrow strait for 90% of its food and nearly all of its fresh water. Any disruption creates an immediate humanitarian crisis. The defense of the physical oil trade has become too expensive to maintain. The math of the 1970s Petrodollar model is no longer sustainable for the American Treasury. This is Richard Nixon. His administration established the Petrodollar Agreement, providing global military security in exchange for the world pricing oil exclusively in dollars. Washington is now pivoting away from this model. The high cost of maintaining global military bases has become a strategic liability, leading the U.S. to seek a more efficient way to maintain dollar dominance. This diagram shows the shift towards decentralizing debt. By encouraging the growth of stablecoins, digital tokens pegged to the dollar, the U.S. can fund its treasury bonds through millions of global microtransactions, rather than relying on a few large nation-states. The strategy is to trade expensive physical military bases for an omnipresent digital debt network that operates without the need for constant naval protection. During the 1980s, seen here in this paper-filled exchange floor, settling a trade took 5 business days, a standard known as T+5. Former SEC Commissioner Paul Atkins, pictured here, has been a leading voice for modernizing these capital markets to eliminate those multi-day delays. This illustrates atomic settlement. Asset delivery and payment occur simultaneously on a blockchain, removing intermediary clearinghouses. This transition to T+0 eliminates counterparty risk, the danger that one side fails during the multi-day waiting period. A digital economy requires instant liquidity. The 5-day analog waiting period is being replaced by the ruthless efficiency of the blockchain. This is the SWIFT logo. This international banking network has lost global trust because it is frequently used as a political weapon to freeze the assets of entire nations. Global trade now requires an X asset, a neutral digital bridge that is not issued or controlled by any individual government. The XRP ledger is built to serve as this neutral bridge for central bank digital currencies and stablecoins. Using it as a global liquidity tool will likely create a massive supply shock for the underlying asset. For instantaneous global liquidity to function, the system needs a bridge that no single nation has the power to turn off. The catalyst for this shift will be a freeze event, a black swan like a massive cyber attack, or a total blockade of the Strait of Hormuz that halts the old financial rails. This image of migrants at a border fence illustrates the stakes. A supply shock in the Middle East would trigger immediate humanitarian and border crises across Europe. This crisis provides the necessary pressure for central banks to finally abandon the archaic, tangled settlement systems of the past. The digital infrastructure for the new system is already in place. Central banks are waiting for a moment of absolute necessity to pull the lever. The activation will be an instantaneous, forced transition. The new rails are ready. They just need the excuse to go live.